Most sites need some kind of contact form functionality for Contact Us, support, or other sorts of pages. Joomla actually has a built-in contacts function via the contacts menu item and contacts data under the components menu, but it's really only built to present information about a particular contact person and send an email to them. It doesn't keep track of that attempt to email, and it may get lost along the way. There are actually quite a few extensions that work very well for building basic forms. In the lessons for this course, we try to focus on fundamentals of how to choose good extensions instead of simply recommending one particular extension. Knowing how to evaluate extensions is far more valuable in the long run than a simple recommendation. So, as with any extension we talk about, it's a good idea to review what's out there and see what suits your own needs. That said, we'll go through an example of how we review form extensions before deciding if we test them further. We'll visit the support pages to see how to compare them. This is one case in particular where paid commercial extensions tend to be popular, so let's take the time to evaluate one of them so we find just the right one for our needs. For most sites, we really only need 3 things. 1. Basic form functionalities such as name, message body, and perhaps a CAPTCHA or test to confirm that the one filling out the form is actually a human instead of a spam bot. 2. Notification. We want to be sure that we know when someone has filled out a form, so email notification is important. 3. A stored record of responses. We want to be able to go back and review responses even if the email notification was lost or undelivered. Additional needs vary from site to site, but these should cover the basic contact or support form scenarios for most sites. Let's have a look at the JED to see what extensions are worth exploring. If we check out the Contacts and Feedback category and Forums section, we see about 20 or so extensions. There's another section called Contact Forms that may have some appropriate extensions as well. Here, the categories are not as distinct as perhaps they should be. If you just need a Contact Us type of form, some of the extensions there are very simple and get the job done as well. For now, we'll look at more general solutions that can cover multiple scenarios in case we want to add different forms to the site down the road. We'll go through the process of making sure these form extensions will fit our basic needs. So, here's how we'll go about doing that. First, we'll look at the most highly rated ones with the most votes. In this case, we'll check out Breezing Forms. We'd also recommend that you follow this process to review RS Forms Pro, Mad4Joomla's mail forms, Chronos Forms, and whatever else has a similar number of reviews as well as a high rating. We'd normally look at perhaps about 10 extensions given that there seems to be quite a few options here, but this should be enough to demonstrate the process. Let's look at Breezing Forms now. We'll often come across extensions written and released by programmers directly, and many of them are not native English speakers. We need to take this into account on 2 levels. First, we may be more tolerant of poorly written descriptions or problems with documentation. A programmer may not be a seasoned writer, and so they may not write the best description or documentation. Secondly, we should be mindful of the need for well-written labels and other front-end content. We do not want our users to have an awkward experience, especially if our site is commercial in nature. So, as we review the text of the description for Breezing Forms, we see that it is mostly a technical feature list. We really only need good form functionality, email notifications, and storage of the responses. We see that these features are supported and that the extension has many positive reviews. So let's continue on the site and examine it some more. If we click on the demo button, we can look at some of the examples they supply. Here's one of them from the site. Based on what we see here, this presents quite a nice view to our users. The demo also supplies videos of the backend, so we can review them to see if we like the interface. As we look around the site, we see that they provide support tickets if you purchase a subscription. If you have some need for technical support, they seem to be well positioned to help out. They don't have what we consider a tolerant refund policy, but it's inexpensive enough for most, so it may not even be an issue. If we were unsure about it, we might spend some more time reading the reviews on the JED as they can't be manipulated by the vendor. If you'd like to go through this process now, try applying the same review method for RS Forms Pro and see how it stacks up.